Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Tom, for the invitation to FACE Interface and all the organizers of the conference. The first part of the presentation will cover the context and the dynamics that led to the birth of the Arabic type unit at the American University of Beirut, while the second part will showcase some of the projects that it is currently involved in. During the mid-90s, my introduction into graphic design came after 2 decades of conflict. In post-war Lebanon, graphic design was relatively a new discipline, and Lebanon was the first to offer it in the region. Our focus on typography revolved mainly around Latin-based characters. Arabic script was an inconvenient afterthought. We grappled awkwardly with software and hardware, transforming our keyboards to accommodate Arabic letters with dongles. Here's your dongle word. Struggling with a poor selection of uninspiring fonts that did not sit well with the plethora of Latin ones we had under our disposal. On the left is Quark Express. We had to plug in a dongle and have like 4 or 5 AXT fonts and some stolen, pirated GE fonts, and that's what we worked with. Arabic type, in retrospect, Arabic type or text was viewed superficially at the time, often perceived as archaic or carrying religious undertones. Both the available technology and the limited reference material at the time failed to provide sufficient insights for a comprehensive understanding of Arabic type and its usage. While I recognize my perspective is from Lebanon, and might not be an accurate representation of the regions, it reflects a 30-year journey as a professional designer, graphic designer, and educator. I juggled teaching across several universities while my main job was as a design director at the Muhtaraf Studios. 3 decades ago, the type education we received was largely based on the Bauhaus School of Design curriculum, which I got to give back to my students when I first started teaching also. We taught the works of Chickell, Bringhurst, and Brockman, and found inspiration in the likes of 8VO, David Carson, and April Greiman, for lack of more pertinent and regionally sensitive examples. Over time, the inclusion of Arabic type into the curriculum has been actively increasing across several universities in the region, as I saw. And however, it remains a surface-level rendition that is limited to the 6 calligraphic styles and a sufficient understanding of letter anatomy. We are yet to design a series of dedicated courses solely to the Arabic type in our curriculum. In the 90s, the Arabian Gulf region offered prime job prospects, where the Arabic script was an indispensable requirement. This stands in stark contrast to Lebanon, a complex Francophone country where French and English often hold equal or greater footing with Arabic. This led to my first culture shock, where I joined Muhtaraf Design Studios, which operates in Saudi Arabia and Beirut, where the use of the Arabic script was at its core forte. It was only after I joined the studio that I started to incorporate Arabic type into the courses I was teaching in parallel at Notre Dame University. This incorporation of the Arabic script led many graduates to pursue their passion in Arabic type design, such as Pascal Zerbi, Christian Sarkis, and Khajak Apelian at the time at NDU. The prevalence of multinational corporations with their branding strategies led to a homogenization, a sort of flattening of the Arabic typographic landscape. This is just an example of how we dealt with the script back in the 90s and onwards. Globalization intensified the challenge of visually harmonizing seemingly conflicting scripts. As an example, when designing Arabic logotypes for an existing international brand, designers created logos with reverse contrast, dissecting Latin forms, rotating and mirroring them until they vaguely resembled Arabic ones. Oblivious to the mindless replication and misguided practices, we collectively and unwittingly shaped the visual landscape. It is now part of our visual culture, and we can describe it as one that is driven by a soaring demand, rapid supply, overwhelming Latin-centric brand guidelines mixed with a sense of novelty somehow. It was similar to self-orientalization, which we proudly dubbed logo Arabization for a long time at the Muhtaraf Design Studio. Over time, designers in the region have collectively improved their approach. They now rely on sound calligraphic structures of the different script styles, designing lettering that respects the relative proportions of letter forms while preserving the brand's essence. On the right is Khajak Apelyan's work with Majoun. On the left, on the top, is Morkoski doing Burberry and Bloomberg, and on the bottom is Domino's Pizza. Famous for its calligraphic wall calendars, the studio where I worked at, Muhtaraf, designed Arabic typefaces, brand identities, books, and magazines deeply rooted in Arabian culture, emanating from grassroots origins. At Muhtaraf, we also grappled with designing Arabic typefaces when none of the team at Muhtaraf, had a formal training in type design. And as a result, we heavily relied on a trial and error approach, which won us a few awards in the type industry. And an endeavor that was never aimed at becoming. We did the typefaces. We did not want to become a type foundry in the classical sense, but rather we wanted to enhance our own repertoire of typefaces to design our own graphic work, because we didn't have enough, as I showed earlier, which I find quite unique for a design studio to design their own typefaces so that they can use them in their own graphic work and not actually sell them unless they're asked for custom typefaces. This was a very quick glimpse of the challenges we faced as designers and educators for the past 2 decades. Arabic type, as we know it today, has had a long journey in transitioning from the rich calligraphic tradition to the current typographic practices. The formalization of the discipline has historically lagged behind its Latin counterpart. Its evolution is also intricate and contested as it unfolds across diverse geographic regions. However, amid these challenges, there's a silver lining. The accessibility of design tools and new media has enabled grassroots movements again, led by a new generation of regional designers, academicians, and researchers. Recently, there has been a very big surge in emerging literature and research in the field. Probably this slide almost includes all the references we can use. Khat Books in Amsterdam is one of those examples where I had the opportunity to contribute to one of its publications under the Arab Design Library, and some episodes for its podcast, Khat Chronicles. Noteworthy and serious research on Arabic type, intricate history, development history, is emerging from Reading University in the UK, led by Titus Nemeth and Borna Izzatbana. 3 years ago, we also got, at last, our first reference book on the history of Arab graphic design from the region, from Bahia Shahab and Haitham Nawar from the American University of Cairo in Egypt. Add to that the multiple research initiatives that are emerging, such as Type Lab at AUC again, Egypt, and Type Arabi at VCU in Qatar. Archiving has also been seeing a big surge. Archiving usually has been limited to sporadic individual efforts scattered throughout the region. However, it has swiftly evolved into a vital act of preserving the distinct visual heritage of the region. Initiatives like the Arabic Design Archive and the Syrian Design Archive stand as worthy examples of this effort. Also, plus that, additionally, Arabic type design has flourished significantly over the past 2 decades, making available a wider choice of exciting new typefaces and type families. We didn't even have type families at the beginning. It was like Manal, AXT Manal bold and black, and that was it. And the rest didn't have even type families. It is coupled with the formalization of the type design practice, taking shape in various workshops, specifically that of the Arabic type design workshop led by Christian Serkis and Lara Kaptan in 2017 and onwards, and others conducted by Nadine Shaheen and Khat Foundation. Collectively, these scholars and institutions have made substantial strides in advancing the discourse on Arabic type and typography. In the brief context I have just presented, the Arabic Type Unit, ATU, at the AUB, the American University of Beirut, comes in as a natural progression and part of this grassroots movement that has been taking place. Keeping in mind that 30 years ago, AUB actually launched the first graphic design program in the region and the first to integrate the Arabic script in its program. This part of the presentation traces a pragmatic path through a series of research and practice-driven projects unfolding over the past 3 years. It started earlier, but COVID actually pushed us more. Part of the research is funded by AUB and other funders, and includes in the team Professors Lina Ghaibi, who's with us today, from the Center for Arabic Comics Studies, and Khajak Apelian. I will try to be brief and present some of the projects that ATU has been undertaking in the past 3 years. ATU is, oh, the text changed here. Okay. ATU is divided into 4 axes. The first axis is design lab or practice-based research, where there's a foundry, there's competitions and open source tools. We hope to put forward events such as MOSH conference, which I will talk about briefly, archives, which is starting now, and networks and collaborations with Khat Foundation we've already established, and with Reading University at the latest typodiversity conference they held. A substantial part of ATU is to ask the most pertinent questions as practicing designers, that's where we start our questions from, and educators. One of the first of those questions was, how can we make sense of designing bilingual Arabic Latin books, where the opposing reading direction, Latin reads from left to right and Arabic reads from right to left, pose the most challenging structural question and dictates a series of possible book formats. I'm not going to go through the whole this is another research, full research, but the study concluded with 5 parameters to take into account when you're designing bilingual books with opposing reading direction. And maybe we can play this. No? Okay. So the website that is still a work in progress, that moved on quite well through these 2 years, is that you place the text on the right in Arabic and place the text on the left in English, and then you choose your parameters on the top, which are the 5 parameters the research concluded. And then you actually get the results. So it's a parameterized sort of, you get the results, and actually the text you've included comes into an Octavo, like an 8-pager, where you actually see how your text moves. It has no typographic design at the moment, it's just structural. So it also has an educator's kit, the research, and some of interviews conducted with bilingual designers and graphic designers around the region. The second pivotal question was having a point of reference of material. What are the terms we use to refer to the different parts of the Arabic letter, basically Arabic type anatomy? Of course, there are others who have done this work. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we thought that it was inconclusive, and we didn't have it in Arabic, actually. So we don't know what the letters are in Arabic, the parts of the letters in Arabic. For example, recently at the Typodiversity Conference organized at Reading, a fervent debate erupted regarding the nomenclature of the ligature, if Kaveh, you remember, in Arabic script, and can we call it a ligature even? Does it even exist as a ligature in Arabic? So this was some form of debate. So this discourse opens the doors wide open to establishing a coherent point of reference, at least, for naming the different parts of Arabic type. We wish to do this project collectively. We're calling out for as many contributions as possible, with as many opinions, references, scholars, and historians. We have opted to compile several references, all in Arabic language, as we felt that none of them is conclusive. At the moment, our research uses 9 main references, and we are about to delve into one by Al-Kalkashandi, which is Subh al-Asha, which is a hard read. This is a beta version of our compilation at the moment. What we found was that the different parts had multiple names in different references, so we put all the names of that part. Some of the references used the name for the shape, and some of them the stroke, and some of them for the counter shape. So this project is still ongoing. This is one of the pivotal questions we have at the ATU. ATU is also in the process of developing its own type foundry. It is an initiative that publishes typefaces designed within an elective course on Arabic type design at AUB. The finalized fonts will soon be published on the website and distributed for free under the Creative Commons attribution. It is the first Arabic type foundry based within an academic institution, I believe. In this course, undergrad graphic design students explored the Palestinian poster collection, الفتى العربي Children's Book Archive, and the Comics Archive at AUB. They chose a lettering or a poster or a piece, and upon it, they based the concept of their typeface. They designed the basic character set, numerals, and basic punctuation. Yes. So these are some of the typefaces. I'll go quicker. And they will be featured in Edo Smitshausen's most recent Arabic font specimen book, too. These are some of the questions we are also working around, is that we have recently joined hands with the computer science department at AUB to solve the problem of rendering Arabic type on a curved path. This is always a question that students ask. Why do the characters actually disconnect without disrupting the connections between the individual characters? So we're asking whether this is a type design question or a technical question or a computer science or the programming. We don't know yet. So we're just starting there. Another question we're asking is why Arabic text appears cut from the top and the bottom. We know that the UI limitation of maximum and minimum heights of letter space cuts of essential characters of the letters, like the ye and the vocalization marks that are placed higher or lower, higher than 1047 pixels and lower than 304 pixels, and they cut off. We're not at VR and AR yet. We're here. We're still here. So a common practice is to solve this issue to create two versions of the font. We redesigned the fonts, and this is one done by Khajak Apelian. And the UI version comprises of the script where they are squished more and the ye is up so that it doesn't get cut. So something like this, for example, the vocalization marks are put on the left and not under the letter, which is still weird. We're also rolling a course. Lena and myself are rolling a course on kinetic Arabic type to explore the possibilities and challenges of Arabic type in motion. The challenges will take a closer look at Arabic's inherent structures as opposed to just importing kinetic movements for Latin, and which is detached type, as well as looking at the technical aspects of this. So, so just in case, I mean, these are examples of variable fonts, which is easy to do with weight or with style, but actually we can do much, much more when it comes to kinetic Arabic. It runs from right to left, cursive, and organic. Another pivotal point in our path towards a center is Mashq Conference, an event that was solely dedicated to Arabic typography that we launched in 2022. It is a biennial conference co-organized with Khajak Apelian again that was successfully held in October last year and will be held next year in 2024. And some of the small posters are on the table outside for you to save the date if you're interested to visit Beirut next October. Before I leave you with a 1-minute video on Mashq Conference, I would like to conclude with the following. And this is an echo of everything that has been said today. And thank you for hijacking what I wanted to say in your introduction. But anyway, one of the primary goals of ATU at the moment is to consolidate all our past and future efforts within a single accessible online platform that includes the Font Foundry, the Kinetic Arabic results, any future research projects, and Mashq Conference, plus tech symposiums which we are working on to hold around Arabic. By doing so, we aim to create a platform that encourages collaboration and engagement within the broader regional and international type community on a design, research, and technological level. This is the conference we did last year with 15 speakers from all around the world and from Lebanon and the region. We had 485 people come, surprisingly. We didn't have enough tote bags. And we're gonna have to make the room much bigger next year. We had from Turkey, Onur Yazıcıgil. We had a generation that hasn't been able to speak before and present their work. Like Kamil Hawa and Emil Men'am. We also had Samir Sayegh present If Nadine here, she will be happy. Yeah, because he's the father of Arabic type introduction at AUB. Layla Musfi also was the founder of the program. She also presented. There were two exhibitions, one of Grand Shan, the type competition, and the other one was the Mia posters, 100 posters from the Arab world. We're looking for sponsors and whoever can help us, and we're looking to collaborate with a lot of entities around so we can bring this project to fruition. Thank you.